And we're back with our next game of the day here with Team 5 Head and Palpunto in the round 1 of losers bracket. And of course, winner here continues on and the loser goes home. This is the GitGud Limited EU Rookie Division, brought to you, of course, by ExpressVPN. And so thank you to them for sponsoring this tournament in the series and allowing us to put on some amazing games of Overwatch. And I think this is going to be one of them. Palpunto and Team 5 Head both had pretty good first round matches, but of course lost in their second round, dropping into the losers bracket. And so both of them are trying to... Both of them got 3-0'd against the teams currently in the semifinals. Of course, that being Untitled and Feeders United. But they're both looking to recover from that. That, of course, happening yesterday. They're looking to recover from that. Same cast as last time. I am K-Wing, and this is Shy Guy. How are you doing, Shy Guy?
After our first series today, I'm doing really good. I mean, that was a really entertaining matchup, and now we get to turn our eyes, of course, towards the rookie division, get some kind of some fresh blood, some potentially players that are like newer to playing in a competitive environment. And while we're talking about those players, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the rosters that we are going to be working with here today. For 5 Head, it is Valorine and Luwook on the DPS, Lay Lizard and Pyrexia in the tank position, Arcanaji and Acedia rounding out the support lineup, then Bay and Gonza, Cirio, Alberto, and Sira, and Artolog. So both these teams, of course, trying to keep their tournament hopes alive here today. And, that always makes for some really entertaining matchups when you know that one of these teams is going home at the end.
That it does. And like you said, the loser here is going home. Their tournament is done. And of course, the winner will face the winner of Feeders United versus Chimeras, the game that is happening concurrently to this, and that match will happen tomorrow at the same time that this one starts. So, an interesting stakes for these two teams. A lot on the line here. They both want to make this losers bracket run, and we'll be heading in to our first map pretty soon, which is of course, the control point, the King of the Hill map. And of course, our first map is going to be none other than Busan.
Yeah, and we saw this earlier today, and we saw in that match that you can get quite a bit of variety when it comes to the different points that you have on Busan. Of course, Mecha Base always going to be, rush-based comps, always going to be seeing the Reinhardts, the Zaryas, things of that nature. The close quarters combat really thrives in that arena. But on the other 2 points of Busan, things open up quite a bit more. You can see some dive-ear looks coming in. You can get the Wrecking Ball in play, especially when it comes to that Sanctuary map. So there's just a lot of opportunities for both these teams to really give us a show of what are they comfortable playing and what do they really thrive when it comes to their compositions.
Absolutely. Our first map is going to be the city here, as right at that train stop, and that will be the backdrop for this match as we go in, and we'll quickly see the composition. What do you think we'll see?
This is going to be really interesting. We are actually going to have to step out and remake the lobby real quick. So there is potential that we might wind up actually getting a different first map there on Busan instead. So we'll just have to see. But I mean, while we were kind of on the topic, we'll discuss downtown, since we have already gotten our first kind of glimpse of that map here today. And it's one where there is really a lot of room for teams to go in different directions. I mean, you can go for the more like mobility based compositions. You can bring in things like the Winston for the dive. The Echo, I think, really thrives on this map, and it does indeed wind up that is going to be our actual first starting point here on Busan. So still a lot of opportunity, but then you can just as easily get into a situation where teams kind of want to duke it out in the confines of the point, go for that brawlier style, really kind of hold up, even use kind of the overhang around the point to give themselves a little bit of cover. So there's just a lot of options on this map. So without really knowing too much about these teams, it's not necessarily easy to predict exactly what we're going to see, and that's what makes Busan and downtown in particular a really entertaining map. But it does look like we're going to be getting brawl from both sides, at least when it comes to the tanks. I mean, the DPS of Palpunto a little bit more pokey with the Ashe and the Hanzo, but still very much wanting to get into the thick of things as the first fight is going to commence shortly.
Both teams rolling out, and Team 5 Head are going to take the aggressive hold and going to try and take this point very early. But it's going to be up to them to see if they can keep that going. Serio is actually going to fall as Luluk is actually going to take him down early, and that Moira will fall as well. And Gonza will get caught out of position, taken down by the Fire Strike. And despite Arkanji going down, they will take the point. Team 5 Head starting out pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, that first fight is as simple as we have the better kind of close range composition. We just run straight at Palpunto and kind of put them on their heels immediately in that first fight. Guns up on the high ground, wasn't able to get enough done, and more of the same.
There you go, more of the same. I think definitely that compositional difference is there, and the team kill will ring out for Team 5 Head, and a good second fight from them.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bit of comp difference and a lot of bit of coalescence difference there. As Acedia able to be the first Moira to get that one online. Artelog lagging behind a little bit after losing that first fight is pretty natural. So Team 5 Head, they recognize their win condition and they use it pretty optimally there. I like this rotation, though, from Palpunto, keeping their distance a little bit, hopefully not just going to get run over immediately in this fight, but Bay was on the flank and just gets caught out.
Definitely, and the Shatter is here for Lazy Lizard. The Dragon Strike will come in, not going to find much damage, but Pyrexia will find Servio. The Coalesces will come in, but it'll be too late for Servio. The Shadow will come in and it'll find Alberto, and the charge will deal with him as Team 5 Head still holding. But Palpunto, they're going to keep attacking, they're going to keep trying to do this damage, which might not be advisable. Valorant going to take down that fob that was thrown in, and not doing great so far as, again, this contestant happened.
Now it's one last chance here for Palpunto, and they're going to be down when it comes to ults. Both support ults available for 5 Head. They can get aggressive with that sound barrier, try and find the right target. And Bay, again, the first to fall here.
Absolutely, and Luluk will just find the High Noon kill. The Death Blossom will come out, and that's just ultimate difference, and that's the way it goes for Team 5 Head, and they will take this first round in a good showing. 100-0.
Oh my gosh. And that is the tragic timing there for Palpunto. They had 3 ultimates that were like 95% charged or above when the point kind of ends there. So like they were tragically close to being able to at least have an opportunity to answer back with some ult of their own, but Unfortunately, they just got so dominated from start to finish there that like most of their players never got a single ultimate online. That's really a brutal way for that first point to go. Hopefully they'll be able to kind of change things up here as we head over to Sanctuary. It's going to be the Mei out from Bay here, which I think is a good idea. It gives you a little bit more control over the map, makes you much better in those brawl situations.
Absolutely, and I do think the switch from Palpunto is good. They're going to more of a brawl hero composition with the Mei and the Kree, and they're going to actually take up position on the point. And Team 5 Head needs to try and approach, and they will very quickly. That we see a speed boost helping out with that. A lot of damage going on to the members of 5 Head, and Lazy Lizard is actually going to get frozen and taken down. But the McCree, Gonza's getting some hits, taking some names, as Servo has just been swinging for the fences. Already has the Shatter online, and it's a pretty even fight so far. But the point is going to Palpunto.
Yeah, the adaptations work out really well for them. Bay gets a nice wall to kind of kick things off in this fight, and they're able to kind of snowball that into a victory there. Now they'll have an early advantage when it comes to assaults. Obviously, the Earth Shatter, but Artilog this time should be the first Moira to the punch when it comes to that coalescence. So perhaps they can use that to get aggressive once again.
They try to, but Luwug would get caught behind that Mei wall. The Shatter from Servo will get 2, and the Coalescence will come out, a powerful ultimate, be able to do damage, able to heal. The Shatter from Lazy Lizard will get that Moira on the ground and take her down, and the beat will keep everyone up as Team 5 Head will keep the members of Palpunto off the point, and they will eventually take this point as the McCree and the Zarya will soon fall.
It's really impressive from Arcanaji, able to get that sound barrier online first, despite losing the opening engagement. Just gets a ton of damage down, able to build up that ultimate incredibly quickly. So nice use of the sound barrier there to be able to sustain through that fight and turn the point around. Palpunto does have a nice lead and quite a few tools to work with as they push back in to try and get this retake. The grab and the blizzard are kind of their two big engage tools here, but still the aggression coming out behind that Deadeye.
No! The Reinhardt Servio is actually going to get taken down by Luwug's High Noon, but the Deadeye from Gonza is going to get more. The Graviton is going to come out as well from Alberto, and it'll be a close fight here on the point, a brawl. That's exactly what you want from that rush. The Graviton from Pyrexia. The beat will come in, and it's actually Lazy Lizard that will fall, not any members of Palpunto. And they will eventually, it seems, take this point. But it's just a matter of how much percentage will come up for Team 5 Head. It looks like they'll end at about 75, but there's still a stall coming from Arkanji, and 75 is the percent for them.
Yeah, very even so far. Palpunto looking much better here on Sanctuary after a lackluster opening map on downtown. They've answered back nicely, and that fight extends for so long that Bay is nearly back up to yet another blizzard here. Has been really doing work, but now Gonza completely caught on his own there, just rushed down.
Oh, and the Shatter is going to get completely blocked. Poor Servio is going to get stunned, and there's not more time left. Servio is going to get taken down. Overtime has been activated, but Luwug's High Noon is going to take down 2, and the point will flip to Team 5 Head, and Palpunto are on their last fight, switching to some stall heroes.
I mean, it's all going to come down to one last engage. I'm surprised to see Sergio go over to the Wrecking Ball here. They had time to come back on the Rhine and take a full fight, but they now won't have that shield to work with. We'll see. It can be great for the stall, obviously. Like, there's no way you're going to be denied the last second touch.
No! No! You literally just said, there's no way they're going to be denied the last second touch. And then they did
I can't help but feel that was my fault. I can't help but feel that was my fault. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, no.
I mean, that's just that's a blunder. There's no two ways about it. There's no excuse for that happening. I apologize for the caster curse, but at the end of the day, that's on you, Palpunto. Like, you've got to be a little bit more heads up. Is that maybe Syria thought they had already touched and that would be enough to trigger the overtime, or just thought they had another second to work with? I don't know exactly what the thought process was there, but that is about as heartbreaking a way to lose map number 1 as there comes.
Absolutely. I mean, and it was very close for Palpunto coming into that first fight, just not touching there and C9ing that. It's a brutal way to lose map 1, and especially considering it seemed like the momentum was in Palpunto's favor there. They had the means to take that next match. They had the means to take that fight, and then it would be over for Team 5 Head, and they would go to that tiebreaker round. But instead, 2-0 for Team 5 Head in that map, and 1-0 overall, as Palpunto will select their next map, and it's going to be Rialto.
Yeah, this is slightly interesting decision here. I mean, Rialto, a map that I think for the most part is going to generally favor the rush, the brawl comps that we've been seeing a ton of recently in the meta, and we saw quite a bit of there on Rialto from both of these teams, and it seemed like 5 Head might have had a bit of an advantage when it came to that, but in part, I think their advantage, especially on that first point, came from the kind of mismatched DPS that Palpunto was running with. I mean, the Ashe and the Hanzo can be good, but they don't necessarily work alongside the Rein Zarya, and especially when the enemy team is just like sprinting at you full speed and running you down, it's hard to get a lot of value out of those like more pokey DPS. So maybe if they stick with things like the Mei that we saw there on Sanctuary, and the McCree, obviously Palpunto definitely has an opportunity to kind of pull this one back and reverse their fortunes after a rough map number 1.
I agree with that. As Rialto is definitely a map for that double sniper, for maybe a more bunker type composition. You have a lot more high ground, and you have a lot of good places to hold on the defense, which Palpunto will start on. They're going to be on this. They're going to be on the defense here. Yes, and Team 5 Head will be on the attack first, and there's a lot of good places to hold on Rialto, whether it be in the hotel on second point, whether it be on that stairs. There's a lot of good places to hold and to really make it difficult for the attackers to approach.
No, certainly. I mean, this is definitely a map where you can change up the style and actually go towards those poke compositions much more successfully than we saw perhaps on Busan, where you're kind of forced to fight around the point as your kind of central arena of battle. So we'll see if that might favor Palpunto a little bit here if they want to go for something potentially even like the kind of the classic double shield with the Orisa Sigma. On the defense, at least, it doesn't look like they're going to be doing anything of that nature. It's just going to continue to be the Rein Zarya as the tank line here. Gonza going over to the soldier here is a little interesting. I mean, going to be more about kind of the sustained damage rather than the burst of kind of a McCree pick. It doesn't have the utility of like the stun to provide for the rest of the team, but as far as like breaking shields and being able to reposition in the middle of the fight, the soldier perhaps a little bit more versatile than the McCree pick.
Well, we'll see as Wuwook, they will pick that McCree. So it's going to be Gonza and Wuwook. The only differences between these two teams, we'll see if it'll be the difference, or if Lazy Lizard's going to hit. If Lazy Lizard, if he's going to hit Fire Strike like that, that could be pretty brutal. And the wall actually comes up while the charge is happening, almost causes Lazy Lizard to get trapped behind it, which would have been absolutely massive. But regardless, the wall will come out, and aggression, it'll facilitate some aggression from the members of Team 5-Head. And the Shatter! Lazy Lizard has been swinging so much that they already have that Shatter. It comes out, and destruction from Team 5-Head.
Yep, that's pretty simple. You can't stop the Shatter. You're just not gonna be able to win that fight. And I mean, Palpunto, I don't think they even suspected that was a possibility. Yeah, I mean, you see Serio only at 56% at this point, so they were not ready for the early Shatter, and now the wall nearly buys enough space for 5-Head to just roll on in, but it's not going to happen just yet.
Won't be enough, but the Moira going to use, both Moira's going to use the Coalescence. The Blizzard will come out as well. Serio and Gonza both have those ults. Gonza going to pop that tack visor, going to take down Arkanji. They're not having a good time, Arkanji, on that Lucio. Going to get taken down by that tactical visor.
Yeah, nice recontest there from Palpunto to avoid letting the snowball kind of get out of control. Valkyrie trying their best to make it out alive, but Gonza able to chase them down, gun them down, and that's a nice little stagger there. 5-Head gonna have to wait, of course, for the Mei to get back with the rest of the team. So, buys you another 10, 15 seconds or so on this defensive side of things. And now as the payload so far away from the spawn is going to give a little bit of a defender's advantage here. Both Ryan's going to have their shatters here. Lazy Lizard getting their second online before Serio even unleashes one.
That's just how dominant it's been, and Lazy Lizard's not going to get anything, and 5 on the ground on Team 5-Head. Serio's actually going to get taken down by Wuwook's Deadeye, so not able to take any advantage of it. Although a lot of picks coming in for Team 5-Head, and even though that shatter was massive, it's going to be an unfortunate there.
Yeah, I mean, Palpunto, in hindsight, it's hard to make this call in the moment, but they definitely would have been better off just being able to use that shatter kind of to disengage after the sound barrier comes out from Arkanji. Instead, they do the thing where your eyes get really big when you see all those enemies laying on the ground. You all try to rush forward, and it costs them a little bit.
That it does. The grab is going to come out, and there's the shatter, and it'll get 4 on the ground. And Palpunto already getting 2 picks, and Serio will be swinging his hammer from side to side. There you have it. That's a quick stop for Palpunto.
Yep, nice response there, and Serio again connects with a nice shatter. This time, of course, Palpunto more than capable of following up, and with an ult like that, they're able to hang on to some of their other tools as well. There's an early grab out from Pyrexia.
It'll get the shatter's going to come out, but no follow-up because that ice wall from Faye will block them off. Both blizzards will come out, and no team is really close enough to follow up. Serio will get taken down, caught a little bit out of position. Gonza just on this Ultra 76 trying to get any sort of damage through. Oh, Alberto's going to get hit with the Moira Orb, and unfortunate for Palpunto as the card's going to keep on moving for Team 5-Head, and Bay going down that late is not good.
No, certainly. But, either way, we're going to have one more opportunity for Palpunto to push back in and recontest before the payload makes it. So they'll have plenty of time to regroup, get the setup that they want. Gonza playing from range, wants to unleash this visor, but most of it just going to go right into shields. Even the sound barrier committed, that's a nice bait from the side of Palpunto to get that support ult out early.
That is... That sound barrier is such an important ultimate, and then even still, though, they're just gonna keep pushing, and they're gonna get this payload onto third point.
Certainly, the Coalescence giving 5-head free reign to just continue pressing W throughout that fight. They sustained so well with both support ultimates committed into that engagement. It gives them all the space they need and forces Palpunto onto the back foot. Now,
the grab.
Keep it up. Nice
They're
wall.
just so aggressive, but the Shatter will find Alberto onto the ground. They'll get taken down, and the freeze opens up Lazy Lizard for the charge, and the Shatter will find 3, and Palpunto, off the back of some impressive play, will put a stop to Team 5-Head's push.
Bay has been so good when it comes to kind of peeling for the rest of the team on this defense. The walls, I think, have been fantastic for the most part, shutting down several big ultimates on the side of 5-Head there. Even gets the freeze to stop the pin from Lazy Lizard. So overall, I really like what we're seeing out of this DPS. Now another opportunity for the Blizzard to come in. Can they find the right chance here?
Here's the chance, but Bay's actually going to get taken down by the High Noon before they can follow up on it. Valentine going to take down Servio in the Blizzard, and now aggression is just going to come out from Team 5-Head, taking down Gonza, taking down Sarah, and there's not much Palpunto can do. They have some ultimates, and they're going to need to get some value out of them. They have 3 ults coming in here, but the stall... Oh no, Alberto dies before they can use the Graviton. Sierra has the beat, he's going to use it. The beat's going to come out to counter this tactical visor, and so will the Coalescent, doubling up support ults, but regardless, the Shatter will find 2 of Palpunto on the ground. The grab will come out, but there just won't be enough follow-up, and Team 5-Head will finish with 44 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate there for Palpunto. I mean, the kind of final fight, it drug on for so long, and they were constantly on the retreat from the very beginning, but they never got an opportunity to kind of fully reset and get everybody back into the fight. I mean, the biggest kill of all there was definitely Alberto going down right as the reinforcements were arriving from spawn, and if they're able to keep the Zarya alive there and get some kind of grab off, then there's a definite possibility that they can turn that around, get a last stand defense at the goal line, but instead Alberto just barely can't get out there, despite again some what I thought was good defensive use of those abilities from Bay on the Mei. It just wasn't enough to save the Zarya there at the end. They cannot hang on at the final hurdle there. So 5-Head put 3 points on the board. They give themselves now a nice opportunity to take a commanding lead in this series if they can put together a solid defense here.
It is up to 5-Head to get this defense going, as Palpunto, the door is open, and they will run out on this Ryan Zarya comp. The DPS, very different, keeping Gonza on that soldier. As this cart keeps, is going to move forward. This first corner is going to be the place where this first battle happens, and oddly enough, Team 5-Head, they're going to pull around another corner, which is going to be interesting. They're not choosing that first corner to take this play. Servio going to throw in that fire strike to get some early ult charge. The wall going to be a little bit behind them. An interesting wall from of Valorine, but they'll get the pick onto Gonza, and Ardalhawk will soon follow, and Servios is going to get walled off and shut down. And Team 5 had put an early stop to this card, and a minute off the clock now.
Certainly is, again, 5-head, they are just, they're positioned pretty much perfectly. This is exactly where you want to hold here on Rialto, using this corner effectively as kind of essentially another shield for your team in a lot of cases. And aggressive pin from Lazy Lizard doesn't connect, but they're pushing Palpunto back.
Oh, but Sierra will get... Sierra's gonna get stunned and taken down by Luke and some help. The Coalescence is gonna come up from Palpunto, and the Shatter will find 3. Servio, though, is gonna find 5 with the Shatter. His Shatter will be a little bit bigger, but the wall will come in, and Servio again going to fall. And somehow, even though Servio gets that 5-man Shatter, it won't be enough for Palpunto to take this point. 5-head is just going to absolutely be dominant on this, and so far, half of the time already gone.
Yeah, certainly the May walls continue to play such a huge factor in terms of dividing the team there. Lazy Lizard was almost able to be taken down, and if the Rhine falls late in that fight, Palpunto had an avenue back into this one, but now they're caught in the grab.
Oh, and the grab. The high noon will come in. It won't get any kills, but it'll make those shields go down low. And when you're charging in, you have no shield. Oh, the Blizzard comes out from Bay as well. That ult's not going to be there for this next push, as this time is getting lower and lower and lower. The wall come out, and the soldier will get away.
That's really unfortunate. Losing the Blizzard is pretty massive there for Palpunto. Now Bay gonna try in a bit of desperation to go over towards the Junkrat at this point, hoping the spam damage can be enough to at least kind of temper the aggression of 5-head potentially, if they're worried about that.
Oh, the grab comes in, but the Blizzard is there to keep anyone from Palpunto from trying to follow up. Servio will try, but they'll just get completely demolished. Gonza's going to use the Tactical Visor to find 1, but Lazy Lizard's found 3. And 40 seconds left. It's the last fight territory for Palpunto, but that was their big ultimate fight.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if that Visor can come through a little bit better, if they have timing so that he can potentially fall up on the grab from a distance, there's a chance there, but no. And now Gonza falls so late. Like, they should be able to get this soldier back into the fight thanks to his sprinting ability, but still, this is going to be really awkward for Palpunto. They're trying to rotate through the high ground, bypass this choke that they've had so much trouble with.
That they do, and they're going to get a big anti-nade, but Servia's already going to go down, and a double kill with the high noon is going to seal the deal. A triple kill coming out from Luwu, and why not a double for the Lucio, as Team 5-head get match point 2-0. They're close to a sweep.
Yeah, and I mean, given the way these first 2 maps have gone, it's a little bit difficult to not see things headed in that direction. 5-head so dominant here on Rialto. This defense was a sight to behold. They I mean, never even let the cart get past that corner. I mean, most holds you see on Rialto, yeah, they require some kind of last second recontest at the very tail end, but Palpunto never even sniffed the capture there, and they just get shut down at every turn here. It's been a really dominant showing so far from 5-head. I really love the level of tempo that they are bringing to the table right now, and it's given them a firm advantage here. 2-0. Now they've got 3 chances to close out this series.
That they do, and for Palpunto, when we come back from our intermission, they have a mountain to climb here. They need to win 3 maps in a row, and they cannot drop any of them to Team 5-head. And Five Head, all they have to do is win our map 3, our next map, or any map after that, and they go on, and Palpunto goes home. So it's going to be very, very difficult for Palpunto to come back, but crazy things have happened in Overwatch, and absolutely crazy things could happen with this game. So we will be taking a short break, about 5-minute break, and when we come back, we'll see if Team 5 Head can close it out, or if Palpunto are going to start up the reverse sweep. And we're back. We're coming here with the map 3 between Palpunto and Team 5 Head. And before we went to break, Team 5 Head, they've been playing a lights out match. They're up 2-0, and they've done it in predominant fashion. Map 1 was very, very good for Team 5 Head, and Map 2 was almost more dominant. And now Palpunto, they need to make some big changes to counter what Team 5 Head's been doing. So, Shy Guy, do you think they can do it, and what do they need to do?
It's going to be tough for them to be sure, especially when we consider the map pick for map number 3. We're going to King's Row, and like me, this is again, it's a similar situation to Rialto, where it feels like they're kind of just playing right into the hands of 5 Head to an extent here. It's not going to force 5 Head to change up their compositions at all. Like they're going to continue to run the exact same picks that they have run the entire series. It's going to be, I feel like pretty confident saying it's going to be Ryan Zarya, May McCree, Lucio Moira. Like I think that's going to be the look here for 5 Head, and they've looked incredibly coordinated when it comes to that. Their aggression has been rewarded from start to finish as they just kind of roll over Palpunto a lot of the time. And I'm not saying it's impossible, because obviously Overwatch is a game where things can turn on a dime. Like it can really happen that fast, and if Palpunto can identify some of the mistakes that they have been making throughout the first couple of maps and try and correct some of those in the last few minutes, then perhaps they'll have an opportunity here. But it definitely is going to take a gargantuan effort to pull this series back.
I agree, and we see the team choice, and surprise, surprise, Team 5 Head, not much changing. Palpunto, though, they're going with Orion Zarya, which is not surprising at all. They have Gonza on the Junkrat and Bay on the Echo.
Yeah, this is interesting here. I mean, it's the Junkrat, definitely something that kind of makes sense here, given the close quarters that we'll be working with, the chokes that 5 Head is going to have to try and be working their way through. The Echo is a little bit of a different change of pace here. I mean, I don't blame Palpunto for going for this, but I thought Bay on the May was actually like one of the real bright spots for this team on the first couple of maps, and they haven't given up on that here, as they feel like they need something to change for this series to go in their favor. We'll see if the Echo is the kind of cure-all that they want it to be.
We'll have to see. The wall's going to come in, and Gonza's going to fall early on this Junkrat, as the aggression is just too much for Palpunto. Alberto will fall, Bay will fall. Going to get the kill on Lulu, but it won't be enough, as they'll get resurrected immediately. Just it for Palpunto, as they will lose this first point, and Team 5 Head will go into the streets phase with a gargantuan time bank, 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of what we have come to expect from 5 Head, where they just run at you. They are not going to be playing things slow. They are never going to back down from a fight. And Palpunto, cannot withstand that pressure that we see from the unified front that Fivehead is putting up. Now we see Sergio going over to this Orisa, which might be a little bit more survivable on an individual level, but it's not going to change anything fundamentally there, as again just melted down immediately.
Faye is in this back line trying to get away, but runs into the skybox, and they're just going to fall to the ground, and Luwuk will take him down. Gonza uses this Riptide bouncing all around the roof. It's going to get Lazy Lizard, but there's not a lot of follow-up there. Just in general, it's been pretty tough for Palpunto as this card keeps on moving. Gonza's gonna fall early again, and he won't be. It won't be possible for the Mercy to resurrect him. The Accretion will try and come in. It won't find. It won't find the Mercy. The High Noon will find the Ana, and Arkanji will get slept, but there's no follow-up. The Echo Bay is going to copy the Mei, but it won't be enough. Zero will get resurrected though, so there is a fighting chance for Palpunto, but with Zero falling, and there's just, with so many people on the point for Team Fivehead, there's just not much that Palpunto can do. They trickle in to try and take some time down, but 5 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock for Team Fivehead. They've been absolutely rolling through King's Row thus far.
And I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon. I mean, look at the ults that they've got coming online here. The Grav, the Blizzard for Ballerine as well, the Sound Barrier that they can use to just go even more aggressive than they normally are. Like, everything is going in their favor at the moment, and it's Palpunto just desperately trying to find any foothold in this series, but now the Blizzard is in. That might just be it.
That could be it. And a triple kill from Arkanachi! Arkanachi just gets a triple kill. Boo. Just to seal it off. Why not? 4 minutes and 25 seconds for Team Fivehead. And that's just... It's just dominant. It's just absolutely... It's just dominant. It's just destruction from Team Fivehead.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's the way that Overwatch goes. At times, if you have consistent advantages, if you have the better comps, which I absolutely think Fivehead from start to finish here on King's Row had the better comp. If you have the better players, I mean, which I think we have seen kind of proven out over the course of this series so far, and you are playing with confidence, which clearly Fivehead are doing exactly that. It's easy for things to get out of hand here, and that's exactly what has happened in this series, and especially on King's Row. That was one of the most one-sided rounds of Overwatch you are probably ever going to witness.
I'm looking at the DPS line of Palpunto. Like the DPS line of Palpunto.
I mean, they gotta go for something kind of weird here, and the Bastion would absolutely be that. And it might be a decent way for them to bypass the choke point, but I'm not sure they're gonna be necessarily prepared for this all-out aggression coming out from Fivehead. They're just gonna run at them once again, and can they get through the TP quick enough?
They can, and it's just, I really hope no one in the chat is lactose intolerant, because Palpunto are bringing out the cheese, but it's working. Bay will fall, but Gonza's gonna get a pick, and somehow, some way, they're doing it. Palpunto's doing it on this Bastion, repositioning to try and keep away from that Bastion, raining down bullets from the sky, eventually gonna have to drop down, but they capture the point very effectively with 5 minutes 45 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, sadly for the side of Palpunto is that's literally the best they have looked all series long, and it comes courtesy of the cheese Bastion strat. If it works, it works. That's fine. But now things get a little more difficult when you don't have the safety of the statue as a perch for that bastion.
Oh, but when you have a shatter like that, who needs a statue for safety? As Gonza, staying on this bastion, I might add, is going to get a massive shatter, a fatty shatty, as some casters might call it, and this card's going to keep on rolling.
Yeah, I mean, for all the struggles that Palpunto have had as a team, Serio on the Reinhardt has like consistently been able to connect with a lot of these big earth shatters. Now they're going for another kind of cheeky play here, getting the bastion up on the high ground. Potential here to try and find a good angle to put in some damage, but you know, for now, Fivehead able to position to just kind of avoid the sight marks.
And they are. The teleporter is going to come in. They're on top of the train station now. The bastion going to use that configuration tank and rain down this shell from above. Not going to find any kills, but it'll draw out Arkananji's sound barrier, which is a massive ultimate. And the shadow's going to come in from Serio, going to get massive, and Gonza is just going to destroy the members of Team Fivehead. And it looked done and gone for Palpunto, but they're rolling through. They have 5 minutes and 20 seconds. That's more than Team Fivehead.
Oh, and nearly getting that pick onto a CD, like just barely escaping, about 20 health remaining on the Moira in that instance. So, like, I mean, if they had gotten that pick, they could have kept this momentum rolling. And like we're nearly approaching a situation where they have an opportunity to get pretty much an identical time bank, but now they're gonna have to deal with a bastion on the other side. Valorine wants to try and match Gonza, but one of these bastions has a nano boost.
One of the bastions has a nano boost, and Gonza's is going to be absolutely powered up.
Are they gonna beat their time?
They might actually get a higher time bank than Team Fivehead. The stagger is going to come in, but
they literally tied.
They get the same time bank. They get the same time. What?
That was one of the most wacky and just like thoroughly entertaining rounds of Overwatch I've seen in so long. Like, they carried the bastion all the way through King's Row, and not to just like throw the bastion on the cart and be like, we're doing the pirate ship, we're doing the the classic kind of boring strat where we all bunker up. No, they were constantly using the sim to reposition Gonza all over the map, find unique angles to be able to get value out of this pick, and that is just tremendous stuff from Palpunto. You gotta give it to him.
Absolutely, it was a good attack, and honestly, now for Bay, now you're thinking with portals, as that was it was impressive use of that symmetric teleporter. Now Palpunto on the defense gonna be playing something a little more tame than that Sim TP Bastion strat, but
still get the sim. Like, Bay is still on the sim. This is a really interesting comp that they're going with. The Rhine Sigma Gonza up on the Hanzo. You know, you're not a Bastion, but still up on the statue, gonna be falling off, of course, before the fight really comes in. But Fivehead back to something a little bit more natural for them. They do have Valorine on this Echo. This is an interesting look here as they try and repeat their attack performance from earlier.
We'll see if they can do that, as the shield from Serio going to be broken very early. Going to get slept. Arkananji going to go very low. Will get healed up, and Bay's going to get hit with the sticky bombs. The resurrection is going to... No! It's not going to come in, as Lazy Lizard going to hit that shift key and going to absolutely bash his shoulder into Ardalog's face.
Yeah, that's just alpha right there, coming out from Lazy Lizard. The pin across the map as soon as they see the res start to come down, and the first point defense crumbles once again from Palpunto. Now the question becomes, what kind of defense can they muster here on the street space? They would like to, if possible, try and get a stop here. The Dragon Strike finding Ballerine is going to be a good start for them, allows them to retake control of the choke.
That it will.
Got the shatter. He's been big so far. Can he find another?
Oh no, he won't find a shatter, and a Lazy Lizard will find two with theirs. But the Nano comes onto Serio, and he's free to swing his hammer like it's his birthright, and he's doing just that. The Fire Strike will come out, and a one fight for Palpunto. They can definitely hold here as last fight territory for Team 5 Head.
Yes, certainly, but they only have this Valkyrie from Artilog, whereas, both support ultimates online for 5 Head, the bomb nearly there, the Deadeye to kick things off. He can't connect. Boom! Goes really aggressive with that one.
Yeah, the High Noon it won't get the High Noon. And the Resurrection is actually going to be canceled by Artilog. Artilog will go out of range. You're only allowed to go about 7 meters.
As soon as the res got off, that person was going to be dead. They were surrounded, and now Alberto is going to be the one to find that fate. As 5 Head, all the momentum at their backs here, trying to push forward. Gonza does find a nice headshot though.
An early take like that could be massive, and another coming out from Gonza. He's going to throw out the ultimate, and that could be absolutely massive, nearly forcing the members of Team 5 Head to lose this point. Serio is going to die though with the Earth Shatter. Lazy Lizard going to use that shatter, going to find two on the ground for Palpunto. Serio's going to get revived, has the shatter in the backline, going to get 3. He's got the flank shatter, going to find 2 kills. Bale find another, and that's it. 105 meters for Team 5 Head and Palpunto.
Oh my god.
They have their win condition.
Artilog, that res, what a madman, being able to get into the backline, like that was so deep. That never should have happened, but all of the attention on 5 Head is towards the front line. They think they've got it won with the shatter coming down from Lazy Lizard, and they don't even realize that their death is being rezzed behind them. And then Sergio, once again, has been really good with the shatters time and time again throughout this entire series, and comes up with a huge one there for Palpunto. Signs of life here on Kings Row for this team. They are finding a little bit of an answer here towards what 5 Head. I mean, that was the best they have looked in kind of the Rhine v Rhine mirror. They change up their comp a little bit, get some unorthodox picks in here. Alberto on the Sigma, they're running the Mercy as well, and it goes pretty well for them, all things considered. Yeah, this is not over just yet.
Speaking of unorthodox picks, on the Bastion again. We have the teleporting Bastion again. So we're gonna see that again, and we'll see if it works. They're going to bring out the Rhine Diva, probably specifically in case this strategy happens.
Certainly. 5 Head are ready this time around. They know what to expect, and they're trying to deny any easy TP positions here, but still playing this, very methodically. They're clearing out their angles. They're trying to find, hey, exactly where do we want to send this Bastion. The straight up to the statue, maybe not the best look. So they're just going straight to the point.
They're going straight to point. That's an aggressive teleporter. But the Bastion's going to use it to go back and forth as well. Take whatever angle is best for him whenever he can. Serio going to get stunned. The Immortality Field will come out, but Serio's going to be able to escape. Going to try and get out of there. The Immortality Field, again. Lazy Lizard has been swinging this hammer a lot. Already has 82% to ultimate, now 89, 90 something. Has that shatter. It could be massive, and that could shut down any hope that the members of Palpunto have for a push. Gonza's gonna go down, and it's starting to get last fight territory. A shatter for Team 5 Head. Lazy Lizard will find that. And there you go, Palpunto. They're having some struggles, and Ultim's coming online for 5 Head.
Yeah, certainly. Without the element of surprise, the TPing Bastion strat doesn't find the same purchase that it was able to the first time around, and now Gonza's been forced to swap off of it onto the Hanzo. Did a lot of work on the defensive side of things on this hero pick. Now needs to kind of be a hero here for the team. They do have some ultimates both sides. This is going to be incredibly explosive coming into this fight. Who will come out on top?
The ultimate is going to be used, and it'll be slamming them to the ground, but the high noon will find Hanzo, and the Ana will fall as well. The copy, Valorine going to copy that. Reinhardt has the shatter, going to wait for the wall to fall to use it. It'll find that, get the Reinhardt onto the ground. He'll brawl on the point, but Serio's going to go down. So will Pyrexia, and it's a close fight. Faye's actually going to find Pyrexia. Sarah will go down, and 2 versus 3 on the point. The immortality is going to fall, but there's not many healers for Palpunto. They're going to have only a few people left. The Symmetra wall will come out, but it won't protect many people. The McCree will fall. The Shatter is actually going to only find 1. There goes the Mercy. Not many left. It's just Faye trying to be that last bastion of defense. On the point, but there's not much left. The Ana, 1 person left on the point, and 2 people left on the point. It's so close right now, but it's just everyone versus these few people, and 5 head. Their brains are massive, and their win even more so.
Indeed here, and despite the shenanigans coming out from Palpunto, despite the really impressive use of the Bastion the first time around,
Field play,
despite a really solid defensive round coming out in the second time, it's just too much. 5 head, incredible from start to finish here today. They adapt to the Bastion the second time around. They're able to shut it down, and they come away with the clean sweep here today. But that last map was one to remember. It was something that Palpunto, I think, can hang their hat on. That they put up a serious fight in the end.
They sure did. We really thought that it was over for Palpunto before with that first attack, but they came out and showed us that they can do it too. And now looking at the MVPs, 14-5 head. It's for me. I'm going to say Lazy Lizard. I think Lazy Lizard was an incredible main tank, and the Reinhardt play was fine.
Yeah, I think I probably have to agree. The other player that I would point out would probably be Arcanaji playing the Lucio throughout the day. I think those two were those were the tip of the spear for 5 head throughout this series. The way that they were just consistently they would go on a dead sprint towards the enemy teams, and that all comes from your Reinhardt leading the charge and your Lucio being there with the timings on the speed boost with the amp it ups to make sure that you can get those kind of clean engages off and overwhelm the opposition. That's exactly what 5 head's game plan was. From the word go at the beginning of the series, and they executed it pretty much flawlessly throughout. So definitely a couple of names to be looking out for. But of course, our opinions don't mean all that much. It's up to you, the viewer, to figure out who our MVP is actually going to be here today. So make sure to let us know in the chat who your choice is. There's a lot of great options, obviously, on the side of 5 head after a dominant showing.
Absolutely, and it looks like a pretty obvious choice here from the chat. It's going to be, I believe that is, I'm not sure what that actually says. I can't read it.
Yeah, it's a little bit small on our screens, unfortunately. So hopefully someone can let us know. Luwook getting the MVP. There we go.
There we go.
Definitely makes sense. I mean, I thought his McCree was very valuable throughout the series. There was a play in that final map where he rolled and then flashbanged over the top of the enemy Reinhardt shield to try and set up a shatter from Lazy Lizard. And like that's the kind of McCree play I really love, like sacrificing for the team a little bit in that situation to set up a bigger goal there. So Luwuk coming away with the MVP and well deserved after his performance here today, of course.
I completely agree, and that is it for today. We've completely finished the GitGud EU matches for today, and looking forward here, we've got some pretty exciting matches. I'm pretty excited to see them at 8 p.m. EST. We have GGNA, and that's going to be some exciting stuff. And then tomorrow, we will have some more GGEU tournament action coming to you at 17:30 UTC. Of course, 18:30 CET, so 6:30 CET. And the GGNA at the same time, it usually is at that 8 p.m. EST. So don't miss a moment of it, because these are some amazing teams and they're playing some amazing games of Overwatch. Thank you again to ExpressVPN for sponsoring these aforementioned amazing games of Overwatch, games like this and the one we had before this. But that's it from us. I have been K-Wing, casting with the one, the only, the amazing Shy Guy, and we will see you later.